Hey, what's up guys? Worldwide here. It's time for a 1 month update on the Winmau Blade 5 dual core. Now, before anybody gives me a hard time, yes, I have been rotating my board. I think I've rotated it like 6 times now in the last 31, 32 days. And I just wanted to put it back this way just for this video only because I think it looks better that way. But yes, I have been rotating it. And actually at the end of this video, I'm going to speak more on board rotation because I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that so many dart players make. They don't rotate their board enough. So look forward to that at the end of the video. But for now, before we take a close-up look, there's 3 things I want to specifically talk about when it comes to the dual core. So we'll go over that right now. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is in the past, I read reports about the dual core being too soft. Now, I'm not seeing any evidence of that whatsoever. In fact, I'm finding the dual core to be actually fairly firm. You know, it's not too firm though, where it feels like you're throwing darts at a brick wall. It's not that firm, but again, it's not too soft at all. My 18 to 19 gram darts are entering the board just well. They're not even really sinking in that far. And again, I throw with a light dart. So the firmness of this board is incredible. And as you can see in this picture, it's holding up incredibly well. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is just how good that rotolock feature is. Now, I've had a lot of questions asking me, well, what's the best board on the market? Well, because the Blade 5, even the regular version or the dual core, has that rotolock feature, that puts it above and beyond any other board on the market. That's how good that rotolock feature is. Now, the third thing I want to mention really quickly is bounce outs. In the past, a few years ago with a Blade 4, there was reports of bounce outs. You get a lot of bounce outs, especially as the board wears. Well, after 32 days, I have had exactly 0 bounce outs with this board. And then I'm talking bounce outs when the actual point hits the wire and the dart comes flying back at you. I've had no true bounce outs whatsoever. Of course, I've had some deflections, lost darts on the floor, but as far as true bounce outs, I've had 0. So that's just amazing. 32 days of playing, no bounce outs whatsoever. Well, what do you say we grab the camera? I'll give you guys a close-up look. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk more about the rotation. So here we go. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a once around the board, then you guys can see for yourself just how nice this board is wearing. And there is the original 20 segment. I mean, as you can see there, it's looking almost perfect. We'll do a quick once around. And if you'll notice with my boards, they do wear evenly. Again, that's because of rotation, which I'm going to speak more about here in a second. There's the original 19 segment, looking good. Now, this 2 segment, a lot of people commented on the original video that they had this little defect as well. It doesn't affect performance, but it was odd that a lot of people commented about that. So maybe Winmau, when they were pressing the spider into the board, maybe there was some sort of defect with their machinery. I don't know. Everything's looking incredibly awesome there. And for the bullseye, check this thing out. Now, I hope that focuses a little better. Come on, autofocus. There we go. So on the box, they say that they use a hardened steel with carbon, and I believe it because, I mean, there's some scratches here, but as far as chips or anything, if I run my fingernail across that, there's no dings, dents, there's no point holes. That bullseye is holding up well, and I have thrown a ton of darts at it. But there you go, guys. I think it's holding up just amazingly well so far. And there you go. There is the 1 month update on the Winmau dual core Blade 5. But now for one little quick message about board rotation. Okay, here we go. Quick message about board rotation and why it's so crucially important to prolong the life of your expensive dartboard. Now, I see so many people posting pictures online of their 180s, maybe their high checkouts, and you'll notice that original company logo on the top of the board. That just shows that they've probably never rotated their board at all, and you'll see their 20 segment just completely battered. Now let me explain why that's so bad. If you look at this picture here, you'll notice that that 20 segment is just about completely ruined. But if you look just to the right of that, that treble 18 segment is in just about perfect condition. So here's the problem that creates. All those fibers around the 20 segment get incredibly loose, and that spider is going to start to work its way out. And then in a couple months, you have practically a brand new board on all the other segments, and your spiders popped out. So basically you've just ruined your board. Now what you can do to avoid that, long story short, is just to rotate. When you get a brand new board, rotate it every 3, 4, 5 days. And the whole entire goal is to keep every segment looking identical for the entire life that you own that board, or the entire time that you own your board. Just make sure all the segments look identical. Basically, if you've got one segment that looks thrashed, it's a very perfect indication that you haven't rotated enough. So I hope that helps, guys. And now, what do you say we get into the right shirt and end this video off on a good note? Here we go. See, I just had to change the shirt. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one, guys. Later.